Hello guys, my name is Yegwen and you're watching Yegalisk TV and Dota 2 Academy, where we bring you one step closer to esports. If you are starting Dota 2 player, if you're wondering what the MOBA games are all about, worry no longer, because we will explain it all step by step. There are a couple of episodes already on my YouTube channel. You can always find that. You can subscribe at the top of this YouTube video. But let's take a look about what we will be talking about today. So first of all, I'll explain the topic of last hitting, and everyone knows what last hitting is, but how to do it effectively, that's a completely different question, so we'll look into that. Then there's the topic of denying. Not many players know, but in Dota 2 you can deny the creeps, so you prevent your opponent from last hitting. There is that topic of blocking your own creeps and why you may want to do that. And let me just pick the character for this game. With the bots, of course, I'll be playing Skeleton King, one of my favorite characters. Very simple to play, very effective. So we will have the topic of denying creeps and towers, because you can also deny towers. We will have the topic of blocking the creeps, which is also very important, because you are able to kind of delay the point where your wave reaches the fighting line, where the creeps meet. And then we will talk about a little more advanced topic, which is stacking and backpulling mobs. You can also do that in Dota 2, and that allows you to do a little bit of jungle farming without having the risk of suffering premature death if you're too low level. Okay, so I've picked my Skeleton King. Oh, here we are in the game. I've picked my Skeleton King. So first of all, what I'll show you is how to block the creeps, and you don't need to do this perfectly. Just the fact of doing it may bring you one step closer to victory, because if you don't do anything with your creeps, they will just meet around here. So both of you and your opponent will be on the high ground. If you want to go and last hit a mob, you lose the visibility of what your enemy does, and then it can become a pain in the ass if there's a patch on the other side or someone ranged. So I will show you how to do an effective creep block. So what you want to do is to move in front of your creeps and block their movement path, and in that way you just prevent them from getting faster to the lane. And if you do that sort of slalom that I'm just doing, if you move one, you just need to, you know, move one way then the other, and sometimes a mob will slip. But see what happens right now. You have your starting wave at your high ground. That means you can safely last hit your mobs, and you can even go and harass the enemy, because if he loses the last mob, then he will not see you. So this brings you very close to your tower, this brings you very close to safety, and is generally a very safe way to play, and a very standard opening. So anyway, what we have done is move the wave closer to your tower. You always want to do that. You don't want to push too hard, because that way you will lose faster, and you may be ganked, you may be backstabbed or just killed because of the added damage of the enemy tower. So this is just called blocking, and you do that by moving in front of your creeps. And it is used not only at the start of the game, but it is used also during the game in progress, when you want to give yourself a little bit more time or a little bit more distance from the enemy tower. Okay? So that's one topic covered. The next topic we'll look on is last hitting. You basically want to do last hitting to get extra gold. Gold is used for purchasing items, and that's why you want to last hit. So let's skip to the game. Last hitting is the art of hitting at the exact moment where the enemy creep is low on health, and that may be difficult at the start of the game, because your character is not hitting for a lot of damage, and also the tower can be hitting the mob, so that makes it even more difficult. But it is all possible, and you may be wondering, okay, but how do I time this perfectly, because the creep can lose its health in a variety of moments. how do I time this perfectly to make it just alright? So there is a way. It is called animation cancelling, and this is basically stopping yourself from hitting. So your character, if it's a melee character, will go like this, and then it will last hit. How it's done? You need to have a stop button. Usually it's on S, the button S on your keyboard. I have my own put on E, but it doesn't matter. What you want to do is go next to the enemy creep, and you just want to press stop and then right click, and stop and right click, and stop and right click, and see how the character stops in the middle of attack animation. He really wants, he's bloodthirsty, he wants to kill that creep, but he can't. So whoa, and then boom, at the end where you're getting your goal. Of course, if you're experienced, you can just last hit by clicking right, and you know the right moment, so you don't need any of this stuff. But animation cancelling is very useful. So let me demonstrate. See, I just did a couple of animation cancels, waited for the creep to get on low health. I will do exactly the same with this one, and boom, I get gold. So it's a very safe way. It's a very safe way to get extra gold, and it's mandatory. On the highest level of the professional players, everyone does this, and especially ranged characters, because if you're melee, okay, it's more dangerous and you can get harassed, but if you're ranged, you need to count in the animation of your bullet or arrow or whatever you're shooting or spell hitting your enemy. Otherwise you will just miss a lot. So anyway, I will display this on a melee character because it's easier to see. Again, doing a lot of animation cancelling, it's more difficult when the mob is being attacked by a tower. And you see, I do not always succeed. I'm not that good. The best players, of course, will succeed most of the times, but not all of them can. So anyway, you just do a lot of animation cancelling, wait at the right moment, and then boom, last hit. So this is how last hitting works. Now, the other thing I wanted to discuss is denying. Denying is a little bit more tricky, and usually you want to leave denying to support players, and you want to leave denying to the more experienced players. So denying is basically last hitting your own mob and your own creep. You can do that by having attack move on them. So I have attack move on Q. You will have attack move on your A button, most likely, if you haven't changed your key bindings. So this is how it works. Oh, I missed it. The opponent was there first. I will try this one. No, too late. Okay, we'll wait for one more. And I must get this one. And boom! Oh, I nearly got it. Okay, another one. You can tell that you have just denied a creep because it will display... Ah, shit. Whoops. Ah, you see that exclamation, sorry, yeah, it's an exclamation mark. So if you see that exclamation mark, that means you have just denied the creep. What does it mean? You get a little bit more of extra experience, and what's important, your enemy doesn't get a lot more extra experience. He just gets a portion of the experience that the creep is worth. So denying is very important. Okay, let's just level up. I've got some more abilities there. Let's go this way. Okay, so that's called denying. You want to time your attack perfectly with how your own creep is dying, but doing animation cancelling on a deny is very tricky, so I would advise against it. And also I would advise against denying if you're not sure that you're going to hit, because if you miss your deny, then what you can end up doing is just making it easier for your enemy to last hit. If you do it too early and just before the enemy bullet hits the enemy, your own creep, then you can make it easier for them to last hit, and that puts you in a disadvantage. So you want to be denying only when you are completely sure that you are able to deny. But having said that, there's also a concept of denying your own towers. Tower, if it's below 10% health, that means below, I think, 65 is it 65? No, sorry, 130, not 5, 10% health. So if it's below 130 hit points, then you can also try to deny it. And the most important bit is that you do the killing blow. So you can be attacking your own tower at the same time that your enemy does. You just need to make sure you get the last hit on the tower. And you can also deny a tower if it's low health and there is no enemy nearby. That's the safest way to deny. And what it does, think about what a tower kill gives. It gives gold, not only to the last hitter, which is a huge amount of gold, around 400 to 500 gold, but it also gives a lot of gold to the whole enemy team. So the tier 1 tower gives 200, the tier 2 tower gives 230, and the tier 3 tower gives 280. Now, if you deny the tower, it only gives half of that. So basically, you have just prevented your opponents from getting, the whole team from getting around 500 up to around 700, even 1000 gold. So it's very important that you try to deny your towers. Each denied tower is a huge blow to the enemy team economy, and you just want to do that. Okay, so that's the topic of denying. If we have luck in this game against bots, this tower should be pretty close to being killed by the time we're finished with this tutorial, so I may show you how exactly to do that. Now, the last topic I wanted to discuss is how to stack. And stacking is the art of multiplying the creeps that are in the camps in your jungle. So you just want to attack them around 33-second mark, then run away like hell, because if you're too close, the new creeps won't respawn. And then if we move back to this camp, what we see is that they haven't restacked. I must have done something wrong. Okay, we will wait again. What a fail. Anyway, we're doing this live, so no re-recording. Okay, we will wait to another 53-second mark. What you just want to do is make sure that all of the creeps are away from the camp at the 0-0 mark, because at each equal minute the creeps respawn. So if there are no creeps at the spot in the jungle, they just respawn another one. So if the ones you have just pulled move back, then you have a camp spawn of two camps the same spot. So what I do is around 33-second mark I attack, then I just run away and hope that it will respawn. It's 10:02 right now, so another sort of mobs should have respawned there, and they haven't. Why haven't they? I think these creeps are just blocking themselves. Why did it happen? I'm not sure.
Death is my shadow.
Because if any of these mobs is present within a box of this jungle, then it will prevent itself from respawning. So I will try with these ones, or maybe with these. Let's see who's here. I don't like these guys anymore. You guys are naughty. So these guys you probably should have been pulling a little bit earlier to prevent them from seeing the camp and being close to the camp. Of course, seeing is not everything. You can see a camp and it will respawn, but anyway. Okay, 33-second mark, and we run away. 36, 37, 38, 59, and 0-0. And I hope I made it this time. Let's see. Do we have a Christmas gift? No, we don't. What the hell? What the hell is going on? Okay, let me show you another trick called backpulling. You can backpull the stack if you just attack them around 15-16 second mark, and then you run to your line, and then you see your own mobs can attack the camp. I have no idea why they haven't respawned though. This gives me creeps really, because it's how it works, and I've done it thousands of times. Well, let's try again. Let's try again, and I hope this time will be fine. But see what we just did? I have just given myself a lot of more experience by stacking them. By backpulling the mobs. We go and attack, and then we run. I may not have boots. That may be causing the itch. I wonder if we have stacked them this time. Probably not, since this is recording. Why would we? Yeah, why would we be stacking? Oh, holy shit. Oh well, anyway, this just means I will have to do one more tutorial and I'll just investigate what's happening here. It shouldn't be because it's a bot game. I'm not really sure what is going on. Let's give it one more shot. I just got my boots. I'm running a little bit faster. Maybe this time it will be fine. That would be something useful to discover while doing a tutorial. Aha! These are simple. This must work. 51, 50, 52, 53, 53. Boom! And run! Run, Forest! Run for your lives! Okay, they must have been far away enough. They just must have been. Yes! And it worked! And it actually worked. Ah, now my reputation is safe. So, you see, what I have just done is make the creeps go away from the camp, attacking them on the 53-second mark. If you don't have boots, something I have been suffering from, you probably want to do is a little bit earlier, but that's just a tip for the start of the game. And what I have just done is I stacked 2 spawns of creeps in the jungle, and right now what I'll do is on the 15 seconds mark, and that works exactly the same in the jungle of the Dire as well as the Radiant. I will attack, or at the 45-second mark. You can always do that at the half minute, but at the 15-second mark, after you have just stacked, you attack the creeps again. And what this will give you is you will take the creeps out of the jungle and you will get them around here where your own creeps, your next wave of creeps will attack them, and that's extremely useful. Thank you very much, my bot friend. Okay, 15, 16. We may be too late now. We're not. So, our own creeps started to attack the jungle creeps, and they will go to the jungle. This is called backpulling, because what this makes is the opposing creeps, in most of the cases, get to your own tower, but what it gives you is the ability to last hit a little bit more. You can do this especially if you're playing a support. You can restore some health if you have some form of a lifesteal. You can gain more gold. You will of course gain more experience, and this is just plainly useful. So you want to be doing that every 2 minutes when possible, and you of course want to be done with it before the 0-0 mark, because that means there's another wave of another spawn of the jungle creeps waiting for you. Okay, so this is called backpulling and stacking, and after the 3rd attempt we just managed to do that. Isn't that lovely? Yes it is. Yes it is, my dear viewers. Okay, so we're done with this tutorial, and I hope you just didn't mind it failing over and over and over again, and you just went, this guy is rubbish, he doesn't know anything about Dota. Yes, I do. I just don't know what went wrong there. So anyway guys, it has been a pleasure making this tutorial for you. So we will have more in the future, so please visit our channel often, and I will try to upload at least 2 or 3 of these once a week for the very basic stuff. Then we'll move on to intermediate tutorials, and then advanced at the end when we are done and we have the basic ones out of the way. But there is lots of topics to cover, so we'll be having that. We'll be having that quite often. So thank you very much again for watching Yegalisk TV, bringing you one step closer to esports. See you later, guys.
Missing bottom.